Just imagine this scenario. So your company releases a new version of its application. I mean, your company means your team, you're part of the team. So everything works perfectly in testing. You do all sort of testing and then you release it. But 2 weeks later, your security team, I mean your cybersecurity team, sends your team or your team lead an urgent message that you need to roll back the release immediately. So everyone is confused that why this happened. And they're telling you, I mean, when you do, or the team tells that there is a library that your application is using was just discovered to contain a critical security vulnerability. And these items will be very much highlighted by the team. So you started investigating and someone asks the most important question. Someone in your team or someone in cybersecurity, they ask you that which applications are using this library. So there comes a silence. Nobody knows who did that change. It's not about the developers, it's not about the DevOps team, it's not even the security team, because the library that was used in the application recently, that was added to the application, was downloaded directly from a public repository months ago. And there's no central tracking, right? Because in GitHub, you could find millions of repos. And this exact problem is what companies started, why companies started using tools like JFrog Artifactory. We're going to see more, but here is the real question. Is using JFrog actually a best practice for managing libraries and packages? Or is it just another tool that the companies adapt without even thinking? So let us break down in this video, because going forward, any team, they should depend, they should mostly rely on the security. And again, most software development depends heavily on external libraries. In fact, most applications today contain far more third-party code than their original code. For example, like the Java developers, they rely on Maven, right? And then the JavaScript developers, they use the NPM package management tool. And talking about Python developers, they depend on PyPI, right? Again, I'm not talking about all the packaging tools, all the libraries that are being used regularly on daily basis. And containerized applications, they rely heavily on Docker. So if you note down, each of these ecosystems, they host millions of packages, and we cannot write everything. So we rely on third party, we rely on the external world. But the problem is, most companies simply allow their build pipelines to download the dependencies directly from the internet. That means every build depends on external resources or external sources that we don't control. So why JFrog now? So what actually JFrog does is, this is where the JFrog Artifactory becomes very important, because think of it as a central library warehouse for your company's software components. So instead of developers pulling the packages somewhere randomly from public repositories, the company downloads them once, or a team sits in your company who downloads them once. They store them internally, and then every developer and every build uses the same trusted copy. So the flow changes from instead a user go directly and take it from internally. Take for example, even installing a Python application or a Python code or a Python version. Instead, what he does is, the developer runs the same command, it goes to the internal repository pulls it from the internet. So this small change creates a huge advantage, right? And the reason why companies started using JFrog, or why companies should use JFrog, is, let's look at first the biggest benefit. The first thing is the full visibility of dependencies. So when a vulnerability appears in a library, companies need to answer a very critical question. That is, which applications are affected because of this change? And again, with JFrog Artifactory, teams can easily track exactly like which library version is being used and which projects depends on it, who uses it, when did they do the deployment, when did they make the change, and which builds deployed it. So this visibility is extremely valuable for security and compliance. So that's the reason many of the cybersecurity team, they want JFrog to be set up in their company's ecosystem. And again, when it comes to security scanning, so security threats targeting open source dependencies, which are increasing every single year, every single day, I should say, and tools like JFrog X-Ray, so they can automatically scan the packages for vulnerabilities before the developers use them. So instead of discovering a security issue after deployment, what the companies do is they can actually block their risky libraries before they even enter the system. So just imagine you're fixing things proactively and not reactively. And again, it is faster. I mean, you have like faster build pipeline. So downloading dependencies from public repositories repeatedly will slow down the build, which we automatically know. And with an internal artifact repository, the dependencies are cached locally. And in fact, this in turn speeds up the CI/CD pipelines, which are running platforms like Jenkins, GitHub Actions, GitLab, and whatnot. So as a result, what happens is the build pipelines become faster and they are more and more reliable for you to use. I mean, you don't need to worry about the security aspects because they are already handled by the team. And again, when it comes to reproducible builds, this is another major benefit, that is the build stability. So public repositories, they sometimes update or they remove packages. When that happens, the builds can suddenly fail because you do not know what exactly is happening. You cannot even track, right, what's happening in the external repositories. But by storing these dependencies internally, companies ensure that every build uses the exact same version every single time. So now you might ask a question like, do all companies need JFrog? Not necessarily, because if your team is small and if they're working on a few projects, using public repositories directly might be acceptable. But once an organization grows to multiple teams, multiple people, hundreds of applications, and once you start building complex CI/CD pipelines, and if your priority is security and you have security compliance requirements, then the dependency management becomes a serious challenge at this point of time. And again, now you know why you should use JFrog. And at that scale, with that much, scaled up setup, Artifactory repositories like JFrog Artifactory becomes a best practice in DevOps architecture. So let's talk about the industry trend. What's happening with the industry? So most mature DevOps pipelines now include an Artifactory repository as a core component. So the modern pipelines look like this. Like for example, you have your code and then you take it to your build and then it moves to the artifact repository and then finally to your deployment. So the repository becomes the single source of truth for all your deployable artifacts. And again, beside JFrog, there are other platforms that include Sonatype Nexus repository, and you do have AWS code artifact. So if you're working on AWS ecosystem, you might have come across the AWS code artifact. But still, JFrog is one of the most widely adapted solutions in enterprise environments. And again, a quick final thought before I end up our video. So most modern applications are not built only from the code that we write. They are built from the thousands of dependencies that we import every single day for every single build. And if you cannot control those dependencies, you cannot fully control your software, and they might break anytime, and there could be several vulnerabilities in your code. So that's why the artifact management platforms like JFrog Artifactory have become a critical part of modern DevOps. So I think now you must have understood what is JFrog and why we are using it. And now I'm very curious. So I wanted to understand that, does your company manage dependencies through an artifact repository, or do your developers still download libraries directly from the internet? Just imagine the risk behind downloading it, and it's not a simple thing when you are in a big organization. So let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy learning DevOps, performance engineering, and AI in simple terms, subscribe to Vasanth Tech Talk, because here we simplify all the complex technology for real engineers. And I'm going to start a new JFrog tutorial. So please don't forget to subscribe to Vasanth Tech Talk, and see you all in the next video. Until then, it's bye bye from Vasanth Shanmugam and your favorite little